between 604 to 586 BC, roughly speaking. The Jews go into captivity in Babylon.
God is seen to be physically dwelling within the house of Yahweh, the temple in Jerusalem. And so for the Jews who are now living in exile, they're separated from the physical presence of their God.
They almost become, from then on, the people of the book, because their allegiance to a sacred cultic place is broken. The link is broken to worshiping in Jerusalem. And now their identity comes out of their scriptures.
You see during the Babylonian exile the first attempts to actually write down these oral traditions of the Jews. This is where what we now refer to as the Hebrew Bible first emerges.
The Jewish scriptures, which now encompass the law and some of their history and some of their writings and some of their prophets, becomes a template for the whole culture. The adherence to the law becomes very formal.
The law, the Torah, becomes the central cult itself. In 539 BC, when Cyrus the Great, the head of the Persian Empire, defeats the Babylonians, he allows all of the captive peoples to go to their respective homes. Not only does he allow them to return to Jerusalem, but he actually gives them from the temple in Babylon the treasures necessary to rebuild the temple anew. The Israelites who returned to the land of Canaan after the Babylonian exile were a completely different group than those who went into the exile. The Jews who returned to Jerusalem were no longer interested in a tribal deity called Yahweh. They now thought of their God as the God of the universe, as the sole God in existence.
When they go back to the land, they're furious about maintaining their identity. And in fact, anybody who intermarries with a neighboring people is cut off. So they become, in one sense, not so much insular as fiercely protective of their national and religious identity.